learning to be the light. Whoa, whoa.
Hi, I'm Justin Mehaffy, and welcome back to Tuned In, the Bible study devotional based on contemporary Christian songs. And thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be talking about a new song. It's actually a pre-release of New World Sun's new album called Learning to Be the Light. And because it's a fairly new song, I'm going to sing it. I'll put a little time code at the bottom of this video so you know if you want to skip the song, you can do that. It's a great tune. They have the official video on YouTube, but I don't want to pirate New World Sun's song, mainly because I don't own an eye patch. If I did, I could be a pirate, but I don't, so I'm going to sing it instead. That's funny. I can be that way sometimes. Alright, so this is Learning to Be the Light by New World Sun. After I sing it, I'm going to talk about some of the biblical context behind the song and what it says to me. When the stars came crashing down in tiny pieces to the ground, I was all alone down here, trapped beneath the atmosphere. Then I thought somebody called my name, and I spun around and caught a flame. I gave in to a God I didn't know, and now everything is falling into place. A brand new life is calling, and I owe it all to grace. It's so much brighter living in your world. Savor what you did for me. You gave me something I want everyone to see. And when we struggle and it all goes wrong, only you can make it right. So I say, oh, I'm learning to be the light. Whoa. So that's Learning to Be the Light by New World Sun. It's a song that is just so fantastically rich in its message, and every time I listen to it, every time I read the lyrics, it says more and more to me and speaks a lot about some of the things that I'm going through. The core of the song is really based on Matthew 5, and I'm going to read that really quickly from my Bible, which I have handy for my Bible Devotional, a little tool they have if you have Bible in the title of your series. Have one handy. It says in Matthew 5:14, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." It's a very common metaphor to be the light, and it's in a lot of songs. It's in several places in the Bible. It's not as simple as it sounds. Being the light isn't just about being nice. It's not just about handing out sandwiches or serving in a soup kitchen. Those are wonderful things to do, but it's tougher than that, and I wake up every morning myself and I pray that God gives me the strength and wisdom to be a light in other people's lives. And then I go out and I'm me. And the me is not always a light in every situation. Some situations are easy. I can be a light Sunday morning with a guitar in my hand. It works sometimes. It's not that easy. And the song really walks through a number of different situations where it's a little trickier to be a light. It starts off with the verse, "Then I thought somebody called my name. I spun around and caught a flame. I gave into a God I didn't know." And that reference is back to Moses. When Moses is walking around minding his own business, he sees a bush that just doesn't seem to burn down. He's very curious, and he hears God call his name, Moses. That's exactly what God sounds like, Moses. So if you're wondering, that's it. And he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, "What? Who is that?" God says, it's me. And he gives him some instructions. He doesn't say, "Go hand out candy at the Christmas parade." He says, "Go to this super powerful king, and I want you to get kind of right in his grill and say really threatening things to him. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Go to the most powerful man in the world and say stuff he does not want to hear. And Moses is not really excited about that, but he does it, and like the song says, and now everything is falling into place. God gives Moses those tools. He's being a light, but not in the way that we think of him when we go to be a light. In the second verse of the song, it talks about when a heart is cold as ice, you can't melt it with advice. No one wants to listen to a list of things they shouldn't do. So this is a totally different situation. We're not being asked to go get in the king's face and tell him a bunch of stuff. We're going up to someone who is really struggling, and the last thing they need to hear is how wrong they are. And that can be really tough. It is probably one of the toughest things for me personally. The song really explains the same thing that Christ is saying in Matthew 5. It's saying, so I build a city on a hill and I light a candle on the sill, knowing you'll be always knocking at my door. And, oh God, I just want to love on everyone. And that's really that's the tough part. It's not just loving the people that are being kind and friendly and being a light to you. It's being able to be that light and that encouragement and being loving to people who don't want anything. They don't want to listen to you, right? You know, they're rejecting the kind of advice you want to give. They're not ready to hear it, and so that's tough. It's tough to be that kind of friend when somebody doesn't want to listen to you. So, and then finally, the song goes into a third verse about when it all comes crashing down and there's only darkness all around. Now we're in a totally different situation, right? I've got to be a light when I don't feel like I have any light left in me. And how can I be a light when I have my own despair, when I've got my own problems to deal with? Like, we all have that. We're not always running out into the world joyous and happy. Sometimes we have our own burdens. How can we turn to be a light? And the song says, its chorus, it's so much brighter living in your world when we give up our burdens. There's only one flame that never burns down. There's only one well that never runs dry. And that's the light that we take that allows us to give that light to others. In the bridge of the song, it really breaks this all the way down. It says, I'm learning to be the light that makes the shadows hide, that light that breaks the curse of pride, and the light that takes the weary in its arms. So we're constantly learning how to be a different kind of light in a different kind of situation to different people. It's not simply just being good and bulldozing through the world as a big old flashlight. Different people need different things in different circumstances, and that's really the journey that I feel like I'm on, that I'm constantly trying to learn how to be the best light in the best situation and understand what's needed and what God needs of me in each one of those situations. And sometimes I get it wrong. So, but when I listen to this song, it helps me take a step back and really think more deeply about that. So I'd encourage you to look up the song Learning to Be the Light by New World Sun. It's on YouTube. Listen through it several times and really think about what the verses mean to you. What God is calling us to be in these different circumstances. How we can be the light in other people's lives. So thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoy the song as much as I do. So I pray that God brings light into your life and fills us up so that we can be the light in others. Amen.